Imagine, just for a second, a world you can just think up, design it yourself, a place where, reality kind of bends to what you want. You could explore ancient cities, maybe alien landscapes,
Oh.
or, I don't know, pilot a jet ski through a festival of lights. Sounds like pure sci-fi, doesn't it? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something that honestly gets us surprisingly close to that. We're talking about Google DeepMind's brand new thing, Genie 3. And it's not just another AI model. They're calling it a general-purpose world model, which sounds significant. Our info for this dive, it's straight from the horse's mouth, Google DeepMind's announcement, August 5th, 2025, authored by Jack Parker Holder and Shlomi Frufter.
Right. And our mission today is basically to unpack what Genie 3 actually is. How does it work? What kind of worlds can it create? Because some of the examples are pretty wild. We'll also get into its potential impact, for AI research, for training, stuff like that. And of course, we have to talk about the limits. What can't it do yet? And the whole responsibility angle, which is super important with tech like this.
Okay, so to really get why Genie 3 feels like a step towards designing worlds with a thought, let's back up. What is a world model? DeepMind's been working on simulated environments for ages, right? Like over 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, more than a decade. Their research, it sort of started way back training AI agents and complex strategy games.
Yeah.
Then it grew into developing these really versatile environments for more open-ended learning and robotics as well. So at its heart, a world model it's an AI system that uses its understanding of the world or an understanding it builds to simulate parts of it. This means AI agents can predict, how an environment might change and crucially how their own actions will affect things.
Gotcha. So it's like giving the AI its own internal simulator.
Ew.
That does sound pretty fundamental.
It really is. DeepMind calls world models a key stepping stone towards AGI, artificial general intelligence, because they enable this almost unlimited curriculum, right? Rich simulation environments where AI agents can just learn and learn without needing constant real-world trial and error.
Okay, and that brings us to Genie 3. The announcement really hammers home one particular breakthrough: real-time interaction. Why is that specific feature such a huge deal compared to, say, Genie 1, Genie 2, or even their video models like Veo?
That real-time aspect, that's the game changer. Seriously. Look, previous models could make amazing videos, some could even grasp basic physics, sure. But Genie 3 lets you actually step inside and influence the world while it's being generated. You give it a text prompt and boom, it creates a dynamic world you can navigate smoothly too, 24 frames per second. And it holds together, stays consistent for several minutes. At 720p resolution, that's new.
Wow. Okay, so you type, and you're not just watching a clip, you're in it, moving around. That must have taken some serious technical wizardry to make happen, especially keeping it consistent.
Oh, definitely. For that real-time interaction, the model has to constantly think about the whole path you've already taken. Like if you go back somewhere, it needs to remember what was there a minute ago. And it has to do this calculation fast, multiple times a second, reacting to your inputs. And here's the really interesting part, a key insight from the paper. That consistency, it's an emergent capability.
Emergent, meaning they didn't explicitly code it to be consistent. It just figured
Exactly. It wasn't programmed like rule #1, maintain consistency. It seems to have just emerged from the massive amounts of data it trained on. And this is different from, say, traditional game engines or even newer things like NeurF's neural radiance fields or Gaussian splatting. Those methods usually build some kind of explicit 3D representation first. Genie 3 doesn't seem to do that.
No explicit 3D map.
Right, which suggests it's not just like painting pixels based on a fixed map. It might actually be learning the underlying logic or physics of the world, which allows for much more dynamic, fluid generation. It's building it frame by frame, intelligently.
Okay, that is a different approach. Building it on the fly, maintaining coherence. Quite an achievement. And it clearly unlocks some amazing creative potential. The examples in the announcement are really something. Let's talk about what it can actually model. Physical properties.
Yeah, so it can handle natural phenomena, complex environmental stuff. They give examples like, imagine you're seeing through the eyes of a wheeled robot trying to navigate really tough volcanic terrain. Or, completely different, the challenge of steering a jet ski during a festival of lights, maybe with lots of reflections and movement. Or picture this. You're walking on a pavement in Florida, a hurricane is approaching, waves are actually splashing over the road.
Whoa.
Or even a super fast first-person drone flight through a narrow canyon in Iceland right at golden hour.
That hurricane one, it's not just a picture. It sounds like it's simulating the forces involved, the dynamism.
That seems to be the goal. And it's not just extreme weather. It handles the natural world more broadly, too, right?
Yeah, generating ecosystems, animal behaviors, plants.
Exactly. You could be, say, running beside a glacial lake, exploring different paths in a forest that's, full of wildlife, or maybe swimming deep underwater, dimly lit, with a huge school of bioluminescent jellyfish all around you.
Okay, that sounds incredible.
Or even recreating something specific and serene, like a real-world Japanese Zen garden, with the raked sand, the pond, water lilies, mossy rocks.
From deep oceans to Zen
Yeah.
gardens. That's a massive range. It really does feel like a universal sandbox for AI. What's the biggest hurdle for Genie 3 in modeling all these complex physical interactions so accurately across all these different scenarios?
Well, I think the main challenge is just the sheer variety and the open-endedness of it all. It's one thing to simulate a system where you know all the rules, right? But Genie 3 has to generalize from its training data across countless scenarios it hasn't seen exactly before. Understanding how light works everywhere, how fluids move, how different objects should behave, and doing it all based on these learned, latent representations. That's a huge task.
Right. And yet it doesn't stop at realism. It goes into pure fantasy, too. Animation, fiction.
That's where it gets really imaginative, yeah. It can create these fantastical scenes, expressive animated characters. The source mentions things like an adorable, fluffy creature bouncing over a rainbow bridge in some magical land, or an origami-style lizard,
Origami lizard.
or maybe a firefly zipping through enchanted forest with glowing tree houses. And then there's this really striking one, a peaceful Irish landscape that suddenly transforms violently, land ripping apart, lakes suspended in the air like giant waterfalls.
Wow, that's quite an image.
Mm.
Lakes as waterfalls. So
Mhm.
it can handle surreal transformations, too.
Yeah.
And it's not just fantasy. It can do real places, historical setting.
Exactly. It sort of breaks down geographical and time barriers. You could navigate a real mountain area in the Alps or experience Venice from a vaporetto, one of those water buses with like realistic water reflections and the look of crumbling plaster on the buildings.
The detail.
It could even let you explore the Palace of Knossos on Crete, but as it would have stood in its glorious heyday. Imagine that.
Visiting the past.
Or for something more adrenaline-fueled, biking right on the edge of a cliff on India's Killer Kishtwar Road, which is apparently incredibly dangerous in real life.
Yeah, probably safer in Genie 3. That ability to visit historical sites, or places you'd never normally go, is amazing. And then there's this other feature they mentioned that boosts the interactivity even more. Promptable world events. What's that about?
Ah, yes, that's a really advanced feature. It means you can actually change the world while you're in it using text prompts. Like you could type, make it start raining, or add a friendly dog, or change the time of day.
On the fly, while you're navigating.
Yeah, it significantly bumps up the user experience. And crucially, for the AI side, it allows for more counterfactual scenarios. What if situations? What if the weather suddenly changed? What if this object appeared? That kind of learning is vital for AI agents to become more robust and handle the unexpected.
Right, learning from surprise almost.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have all these incredible capabilities. World creation, interaction, dynamic changes. Which brings us to the big question. Beyond just being incredibly cool tech, what's the actual so what? What's the impact here for AI and maybe other fields?
Well, the number one impact they highlight is boosting research into embodied agents. For listeners maybe not deep in AI, embodied agents basically means AI systems that can, act and navigate within an environment. Think robots or characters in a game or simulation. Genie 3's consistent worlds are already being used to test agents like DeepMind's Sima. That's their generalist agent designed for 3D virtual environments. So these agents can try to achieve goals like go find the red key by sending navigation commands, move forward, turn left, etc. And Genie 3 simulates what happens next based on those actions.
Okay, so it's not just about making cool places for humans to explore. It's a training ground. A sophisticated playground for AI to learn how to act in complex settings, to sort of embody its intelligence.
Precisely. This tech lets them train agents over much longer action sequences, pursuing more complex goals than maybe was easily possible before. DeepMind says this plays a critical role as we push toward AGI, especially as AI agents start to play bigger roles out in the real world.
Makes sense.
And beyond that core AI research, there are broader applications. Think about education, training, helping students learn complex subjects, or maybe experts practice difficult procedures in a safe simulation. It's also this huge customizable space for training robots, autonomous systems, and importantly, for evaluating them. Finding their weaknesses, seeing how they perform under different conditions in ways that might be too expensive or dangerous to test physically.
So a powerful tool for research, education, training, testing. Tons of potential. But as you said earlier, with power comes responsibility, and these open-ended capabilities raise questions. What limitations are they upfront about? How are they handling the safety and ethics side?
Yeah, it's super important they address this. They are quite transparent about current limitations. For instance, the range of actions an agent can take within Genie 3 is still somewhat limited. They can't just do anything yet. Also, accurately simulating really complex interactions between multiple independent agents in the same space, that's still a big research challenge.
Right.
And it can't simulate real places with perfect geographic accuracy. If you ask for, say, your specific street corner, it might look plausible, but it won't be exact. Rendering clear text within the worlds can be tricky unless it was part of the initial prompt. And finally, that interaction time, it's currently a few minutes, not hours or days, so extended sessions aren't quite there yet.
Those are definitely good caveats to keep in mind. It's still evolving tech. And the safety part. Creating immersive, dynamic worlds must have its own set of risks.
Absolutely. And DeepMind states pretty clearly their belief that foundational tech like this needs a deep commitment to responsibility from the very beginning. Genie 3's open-ended, real-time nature definitely brings new challenges for safety, potential misuse, that kind of thing. They mention working closely with their internal responsible development and innovation teams specifically to tackle the unique risks here. And that's why they're announcing it now as a limited research preview. They're giving early access, but only to a small group selected academics and creators.
So gather feedback first.
Exactly. Get that crucial feedback, those different perspectives, understand the risks and how to mitigate them before thinking about any kind of wider release. It's a cautious approach.
Okay, that sounds sensible. So wrapping up then. Genie 3 really feels like a significant moment for world models. It seems poised to make waves not just in fundamental AI research, but also in generative media interactive experiences.
It's definitely a remarkable leap forward, both in how we can train and test AI, and potentially how we interact with digital worlds in the future. It's blurring lines, creating experiences that, yeah, were pretty much just imagination before.
So it leaves us with a big thought, maybe for you listening. As AI gets better and better at creating these dynamic interactive worlds, what new frontiers does that open up for human creativity, for learning, and maybe even how does our whole understanding of reality start to shift? Definitely something to ponder as we head into this, well, pretty exciting new era.